Hey guys, I got another disassembly video for you today, and we're going to be taking a look at a primary weapon system, or PWS Mk114 Mod 2M. That is a mouthful, and while outwardly this looks like just another AR-15, although kind of a fancy one with some ambi controls on it, internally this is actually a pretty big departure because it doesn't use the internal piston system. It actually uses a long stroke piston. So let's tear into this and see some of the differences between a typical AR and the PWS. Alright guys, so we can go ahead and start things off by popping out our standard AR magazine. And then being an AR variant, most of the changes are going to be when we actually get deep into the system. So it comes apart initially just like any other AR-15. So we just remove our front and rear pivot pins. And if I just pull that one out, and we can go ahead and separate the upper and lower receiver. Now, starting off with the lower receiver here, of course we do have our buffer and buffer spring in the back, so that'll come out just like any other AR-15. You see standard buffer spring, except this does have one of PWS's H2 buffers in there. So really nice buffer, and we can go ahead and set that aside. And here you can see the different controls that are unique to the PWS lower, as well as this really nice machining. So it does come with a radian safety selector from the factory. It's in the 90-degree setting, but you can swap it over to the 45-degree like I did. Then you have all ambidextrous controls, your bolt release, bolt catch, everything is available on both sides of the rifle. And then looking on the inside, you can see your trigger group, and PWS does say this is an enhanced trigger. It's maybe a little bit nicer than a mil spec, but not by as much as you might think. And then also, if I go ahead and pop out the rear pivot pin here, you can see we have a little spring-loaded plunger there to take out slack between the upper and lower receiver. And our buffer tube, you can see, actually protrudes forward around the detent. And that's important because this is a piston-driven AR, so carrier tilt is a thing, and this helps prevent damage to your lower receiver. And then PWS also has their ratcheting castle nut and end plate here, so that's to avoid having to stake it, and this is a pretty solid system that they've been using for years. Now, coming back to the upper receiver, this is where things start getting a little bit weird for the PWS. So we can go ahead and remove the bolt carrier group by popping out our charging handle. This gets a little weird though because of the long stroke gas piston system. So pull it all the way back to the rear like this. Then you can pull your bolt carrier out, and once it's out there, you can start lifting your charging handle. This is very awkward the first couple of times you do it until you're able to remove it from the back. And as you can see, this is a long stroke gas piston system. So your piston's all the way up here and it's directly connected to your bolt carrier group. To remove the charging handle, the piston head here is actually keyed, if you can see right there. And what you need to do is rotate it around until you find the flats. So it'll be right about there. And then you can just pop off the piston head. There is a little ball detent in there to help hold it steady on the end of the rod. And then you can just push your carry handle or your charging handle off the front. This does come with a Radian Raptor LT charging handle. Very nice. Love these charging handles. And then this is what you have for your bolt carrier. Now, while this may look very different from a standard AR-15 bolt carrier group, it comes apart just like a standard one. So we have our firing pin retaining pin here at the back. Go ahead, pull it out, just standard cotter pin. And then your firing pin will fall right out the back. And this is a standard mil-spec firing pin, nothing special there. Go ahead, press the bolt back. You can turn your cam pin, lift out the cam pin. I am seeing a little bit of wear on this, which could potentially be concerning if it continues, but overall not too terrible there. And then we can just pull the bolt out the front of the bolt carrier and just tilt it down so it'll come out with the spring. It is spring loaded. And then looking at the bolt itself, this is a standard extractor, standard ejector, but of course it doesn't have the gas rings or the cutout here for a gas chamber in it because this is long stroke gas piston. You don't need any of that. And then just looking at the bolt carrier itself, the carrier key here with your long stroke piston is a separate part. It's not integrated into the bolt carrier, so you do have your screws here, and it is staked in this pretty cool way where you have the channel in the middle that the sticks actually go into. That should be super solid. But other than that, it's more or less a standard AR-15 bolt carrier group, just without the ports and everything, because it's not internal piston. Now, coming back to the upper receiver, the next thing we can do is take the handguard off, which will give us access to the gas system. And real quick, the PWS comes with this tool, which has two real functions to it. You can see there's this little pin end here. This is for adjusting your gas system. So you can see in there, you have holes in your gas plug, and you use this to turn it. And it gives you a lot of leverage just in case it's carboned up. And then this also functions as your handguard tool. So you can see that little cross there. That's going to intersect with the screws on the handguard itself. So we can go ahead and back them out. And there we go. So we have the screws removed here, and then they do come with these two side plates as well that they lock into. So we can go ahead and set all of this aside. One note, this side plate does have this little protrusion on it, which actually locks into the receiver right here. So this will go in this side of the receiver so you don't end up getting these all mixed up. Now next we can just pull the handguard right off the front of the rifle. So we have that, and we can go ahead and set aside just 1 second here. So we actually have M-lock slots on the back, and then this is pick lock up here. So you can actually use M-lock accessories just using the screws that usually go into the M-lock nuts. Not really sure if this is a major improvement over just regular M-lock, but they did include that on here. Now, looking at the gas system, you can see we have a gas tube up here. There's a couple of relief holes down at the bottom. One really cool part about the gas block is it's actually held on with a castle nut here, so you can see that, and that's going to be extremely solid, so you don't have to worry about maybe screws backing out on a standard AR-15 style one. And then we also have our gas plug up here, so you have 4 different settings, and I'll actually go ahead and rotate it out. So this X setting here is the one that you never want to set it to while you're shooting the rifle, because if you do, then it's just going to shoot out the front of the gas block and go running down range where no one's ever going to find it again. So definitely don't want to do that while this is in the rifle and you're firing it. You can see you have setting number 1, 2, 3, and then that disassembly setting. 1 is going to be for standard power ammunition unsuppressed, 2 is going to be for standard ammunition with a low back pressure suppressor, and 3 is going to be standard ammunition with a high back pressure suppressor. So we can go ahead, set that aside, and there's really not anything else to see up here with the gas system. And just looking at the upper receiver real quick here, you can see it does not come with a forward assist on this particular model. They do make one that does have a forward assist, so you can see there's no cutout on the inside of the receiver. And for the most part, it's like a standard AR-15. Of course, you don't have the gas tube protruding out the back end there. But other than that, it's pretty standard for what you would expect to see, at least in the back end for a standard AR. Alright guys, and there's a PWS Mk114 Mod 2M fully field stripped, and as you can see, it's a bit more complicated than a standard AR-15, but not by a whole lot. So thank you for checking out the video. Please like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I will see you in the next video.